Hi everyone, Sandra Vale here at Homesteading Ways. And considering it's the middle of June, I thought it'd be a great time to go over making fire starters and waterproof matches. They can come in so handy when you're out camping or hiking or really doing almost anything outside that you need to get a fire going for. So I'm in my kitchen, let's get started. Well, one of the first things you're going to do is get yourself some wax and melt it down. Now, it can be jar candles, or it can be little pieces from old up-used tapers, or votives, or tea lights, or whatever it is you happen to have. If it's a jar candle, you can put it right there in the pot, fill up the pot halfway or so with water, and get it simmering. Mine's already melted, so I turned it down just to maintain its liquefied state. But if you have little stubs, just go ahead and put those in a big measuring cup or mason jar like this one, because they can handle the heat, and get that water simmering until it melts down. Now, normally I like to make my own candles, but I still get great candles as gifts, and sometimes I'll even buy them at the thrift store or yard sales or whatever if the price is cheap enough, because you can never have too many candles. Okay, we're going to start with fire starters, and one of the most common ones to make is with the paper egg carton. And it's common because most of us have these on hand, and they do work really well. So a lot of people put lint in here from their dryer, and that works great. But I don't have a dryer, so I don't have any lint. A lot of times I'll use straw in here with the shredded paper, but I forgot to grab some when I was out this morning, so I'm just going to use this. And all you really do is fill it up with your straw, your paper, your lint, whatever it is that you have, and then you're going to pour your liquefied wax over it. Now be careful, the wax in the jar may be really hot, so use a hot pad or a glove like I am. I'm only doing a few here now. You don't have to soak it or anything like that. It may seem like that's what I'm doing. You want a good amount on there, just to make sure it gets through the layers, but you don't really have to use that much. Another way that I make fire starters is with pine cones. If you have pine trees anywhere nearby, these will work. I used these quite a bit a couple years ago in my fireplace. And all you do is make sure they're dry, of course, and pour some wax on them. A lot of people also will use the cotton balls with petroleum jelly. Those work really well if you're out hiking in particular. These are great for a bonfire, and so is the carton here. They're a little bit bigger, and they really do take a while to get, to go out or whatever. They can really help you get them logs going and your kindling and everything. I'm just turning them a little bit here, make sure they're pretty well coated. And then when you're going to use them, you can break them in half. That'll work fine too. I try not to get maybe a little bit of each end, not too waxy, just so that I have something to, light. Now, this last method for making fire starters works really well if you're camping or hiking by yourself, or maybe just one other person, and you want to get a small fire going. You just take some jute, some twine here. I'm using these tweezers, and they're not working very well, let me tell you. Okay, we'll use something else. There we go. And dip it down into your wax. I'm keeping the one end out just because it makes it easier to light. Get it real good. And you're laying all these out on an old cookie sheet or wax paper. They don't stick then to the wax paper. They will sometimes to newspaper, but that's okay too if you got newspaper to use instead. And, as you can see, when the wax hardens, you can get this off of the cookie sheet pretty well with just a spatula. And you're going to let all this dry, and once it's dry, it's ready to pack away and sit there until you need it. Now with these little strings here, the twine, these are great for just putting in a baggie and putting them in your backpack. You can do a baggie for a lot of these pine cones and even the egg cartons. With the egg cartons, once they're all dry, you're going to cut these pieces apart. And each one is its own little fire starter. And see, you can see some of the wax got into over here. And that's okay, because you can cut that into pieces and use that as well. And that's how you do your fire starters. Let's move on now to waterproofing your matches. Okay, we're going to start off with, you need to buy the Strike Anywhere matches, because the whole point of waterproofing your matches is in case they get wet, you can still use them. And if you have the type of matches that you have to strike on the box, well, the box is going to be wet, and that'll be pretty much useless to you. So buy yourself some Strike Anywhere matches. They can sometimes be hard to find, but keep looking. Two of the stores that I normally shop at did not have them. The third store did. It's a huge, huge grocery store, almost like a warehouse type deal. But they had them extremely cheap. I was really surprised. But if you can't find them at any of your local stores, then you may have to buy them online, and you can get them online. I'm going to show you the two easiest ways to waterproof your matches. I'm just going to grab a few of these out of the box. Grab your match and dip it in that wax. Only for a minute or two, and get it a little bit below the head. It'll burn a little bit longer. And that's all you do. Look at here, I got me a double. And let them dry. The second method to waterproofing your matches is fingernail polish. Now, this is clear, but you can use colored, it's fine. Just take the cap off, get that extra off the brush, and you're going to want to put that brush somewhere where it won't stick too hard, maybe on tile or something along the lines of that, because sometimes this stuff will act like a glue. But just put that away, and then take your match and dip it in, just like you did with the wax. Get it below the head, dip it, fairly quick, and pull it out. You don't want a super heavy coating of this stuff on there. And just let them dry. And that's how you waterproof your matches. Two easy ways to do it. Very inexpensive. Most likely you're using everything you already have at home anyhow. Well, I hope this video helped you out. Hope you learned something. I'm really happy you took the time to watch it. Please comment and subscribe. That would be great. I appreciate that. It was really nice talking to you. And you take care.